Hey, boys and girls, it's Ron Bass with another edition of the Ron Bass Show, featuring upcoming artists and their new music.
Oh, yeah.
Joining us tonight is Mr. Davo Hunley.
That's me.
Our executive producer. And our featured artist, Mr. Kno Mo. That's his stage name anyway. What is your real name?
Malik Williams.
Malik Williams. Okay. Before we get started with all this, a little bit of pop culture. I like to start off with some fun stuff. So I want to talk about this cat named Jelly Roll. He's well, actually he was a rapper originally.
Yeah.
And now he's gone pretty much country.
Country artist.
So it's kind of like country rap, I guess, maybe, sort of, kind of.
Yeah.
Really interesting story. I think this guy was in Springfield like years ago. He's got to be, what, like 40-something?
He's getting a little up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
if he cracked 40 yet.
I think I remember he was in Springfield, and like nobody even knew who he was, right? But that's the way it works in success. You start off, nobody knows who you are, and you go up the line, and you eventually become successful, or you fall off, one or the other. But anyway, this cat was like a drug dealer, like a big time drug dealer, and got in a lot of trouble, went to prison, yada yada yada. That story, and he married a gal who was a hooker. And then she, of course, no longer a hooker. They got married.
Right.
But this guy is like tearing it up, man. And I think it's really interesting because how he has joined forces, like the genres, how he's mixed rap with country. I think that's really cool. But music's music. You know what? Music's the medicine regardless. And I say this story, the reason I like to talk about people like this is because he came from nowhere. Nobody thought he'd ever amount to anything. And you know what? You just never know who somebody really is until you've been around them a long period of time and you find out what they're made of. This guy never gave up, never quit, and now he's like top of the heap, man. He's like getting ready to play arenas, and I just love stories like that, great success stories. Speaking of success stories, Soar High Records, which is our entertainment company, Soar High Recording Studio, which is where we're at tonight. And Kno Mo, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from, and how long you've been hanging out with us, and where you're at now, and where you want to go with your music.
Okay. I'll just start with I've been here for going on my second year. It's been about a year and a half going on. Really, with the music stuff, I see myself going as far as it takes me in the sense like, I want to be able to relate to people and, just like other big artists and stuff do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I have to be huge to do that, but you know what I'm saying. There are people that feel the way that I feel and may not even have the platform that I have, whether it not be super huge and stuff like that, but like getting the message out there is really like my main motivation for music and stuff like that, because
it moves people.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's more or less like me talking to myself, telling myself what I need to hear, what I would like to hear, you know what I'm saying? Because not everybody can always reach out and talk to that person, but everybody talks to
What's your background? How did you get into music, and how did you wind up here?
So I really got into music when I was 17. Got a little discouraged for a couple of years, but around 2021 is whenever I really started taking it serious.
How did you get discouraged? What happened?
It's always the curve of peers, So
People
I try to tell a lot of people.
You got ran into some haters. What happened?
Yeah, even
family, friends, girlfriends.
Yeah, even close loved ones have told me that I wasn't.
Not good enough. You're not going to make it. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of people try to scare you out of stuff, and it's like, why live life in fear if you don't exactly know? You know what I'm saying? It's better to go out there and experience that instead of living in fear.
Win, lose, or draw, man. You got to throw your hat in the ring and do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. You at least got to try. Yeah, you at least got to try. And that's basically all I'm doing right now. I've never really had the opportunity seized to chase.
How did you wind up with Soar High Records?
So it's actually kind of crazy. I just got my phone back turned on whenever it was about 2 years ago, and one of the other producers of here, King Baby or KB, he had actually hit me up because me and him was friends for years before the music stuff started.
He was already part of the business, part of a record label, and then he got with you and you came on board.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me and him basically started doing music around the same time. Like I told him about my story, just kind of like how I am now, and it's just. He kind of was like, man, I can relate to that. And it's stuff like that keeps the humanity between people, because a lot of this stuff is all facade, you know what I'm saying? A lot of artists just fake it till you make it, if you will, you know what I'm saying? But
Evan, how did you decide that he would be somebody that would be a good fit for our label? Do you recall that time, that experience?
It was, for me, like from the very first time, it was like the eagerness and the work ethic. Like, I remember couple weeks after Kno Mo and KB got onto the label, they were in the studio for like 6 or 7 days straight.
Wow.
Just in there working.
That's great. That's a heck of a work ethic.
Oh yeah. They work a lot.
It was
They
the
have-
birth of the duo tape at that point.
Yeah, they have a duo tape between each other, and then Kno Mo has 5 projects by himself.
Wow.
Yeah.
And going into 2 years later, they're still same work ethic, still same ambition.
Oh yeah.
But talent-wise,
It's even more.
even better than ever.
Exponentially better.
Exponentially better.
Yes.
And as a consumer, I recognize that. But as a producer, why don't you describe how you feel about that, or how would you describe it?
For me, it's like, I can get sappy, and I'll go the sappy route. It's like, watching your kid grow up.
Oh, okay, I get it.
I'll never personally have kids. That's just me personally. But like,
Well, you never say never.
But having this family around and
never know.
seeing my brothers grow up and become not only better artists but better human beings.
That's what's up.
It's a really big deal, at least for me.
Well, they have a good mentor in you and a good coach.
Thank you.
So to speak. I mean, you are a coach.
Thank you. In a way,
And well, you are a coach, executive producer, but you're also, and you perform as well.
somewhat.
I saw you recently perform. I thought, man, you got to perform more often. It was really good. It was really good. You and ARJ.
The energy, man.
Yeah, the energy was great.
Thank you. I
Sir?
appreciate it.
Back to Kno Mo.
Yes, sir.
So here you are, a couple years in, and just enjoying it more than ever.
Yeah. I will say every day
How
that
can
passes.
people find your music, by the way? Before we're going to play some of your songs and talk about it, but how do they find your
Oh
music?
yeah, for sure. You can follow me on any kind of socials. A lot of my stuff is real, REAL.KNOMO.417. And
Okay.
you can find me on Instagram like that. I'm on Spotify as well, SoundCloud, Apple Music, a lot of stuff.
Got it. And then our record label is on Spotify is what? Soar High Records? That's
Soar High
our
Records.
playlist?
Yeah,
Yes,
you'll find a
the
mashup of everybody in there. Yeah.
So you're on there as well as our other artists in
Yeah.
our label. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then we also have a website, soarhighentertainment.com, and also our YouTube channel, Soar High Records.
Yes.
You can check us out a lot of different places.
SoundCloud as well.
Yes.
Working on that.
Okay, so shall we play one of Kno Mo's? We're going to play some songs tonight and talk about them, and Kno Mo's going to perform for us here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna do my best. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing
We're
my
gonna play
best.
some songs that are coming off of an upcoming EP.
Coming EP, okay,
Yes.
cool.
We're gonna start with Geekin. This is Geekin by Kno Mo.
Bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time.
Dropping dirty while I'm driving dirty in the Jeep hoe. 10% tint toe, Blicks and Casamigos. Draped in Louis V, my cologne is cushioning on my knee. Dolce and Gabbana when I stepped out dressed in Prada. My little mama wanted and she got it. Anything I want, nowadays I've been copping. I don't wanna talk unless I'm moving dollars. Pussy niggas hating, tell them boys stop it. What you doing for your people? Yeah, I doubt it. I done gave back to the people and they crowd me. I'm the king of song, what I read, my people know about me, nigga. Now these benches got my pockets drowning, and I got my
Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time. Red bottles bouncing on the table in the lobby. I've been moving differently. Chickens with the lid, killing time.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this one.
Smooth, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Super smooth.
I really try, man.
I love it.
Yeah, shout out ASAP. You know what I'm saying? He was one of my big.
Influence.
Yeah. What
Big
he said.
influence.
So how long did it take to make that song? Weeks, days,
Um,
minutes, hours?
Honestly, it's
It was
just
about 45 minutes.
Yeah, a
Four or
lot,
five
of my
minutes?
stuff.
45
man,
minutes.
45 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I'm not
So
gonna lie,
how does it
all
work in
my
this? Like sometimes you can make something quick, sometimes it takes forever. How does that work?
I will say, a lot of times whenever it is like quick per se, you know, it's just I was feeling it and it just is a good something to get off my chest, you know what I'm saying? But when it takes a while, it's more like a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? Like rough sketches as opposed to Da Vinci, you know, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it is. There's some artworks, you know what I'm saying? Then there's like entertainment, you know. There's stuff that you can just have fun with, and there's other stuff that's more or less better to take your time and
So your approach is different.
Can with
maybe
it.
each time, huh? You have a different,
Yeah, definitely.
different mindset each time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like
Different ways of different inspirations.
absolutely. I mean, it's like coming into work every other day. You know, it's just how you feel is how you're gonna act. You know, so if I was feeling a little good that night, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I was drinking a little bit, but it wasn't
there
too
you go.
crazy. But you know, for some of the sad stuff, it just or even the happy stuff, you just you feel it more. You know what I'm saying? It's
I'm
more
just curious.
organic.
What is the history of like drug or alcohol influence
In
when it
music?
comes to music? Like going way back like hundreds of years ago. Or
I can tell
what's
you,
the history?
It's huge.
Explain it to me.
So, just
And
for
why does it work so well?
for an example, like, okay, remember the Colosseum in Rome and
Yes.
such? You know, we learned about that. Some competitors there would get high before they would.
And how
go
would they
to
get
the
high? What
Colosseum.
kind of drug would they use?
Back then, probably like opium, like plants.
Yeah, they would chew
any
on
type
like
of
little
plant.
They would
sticks of
chew on the
opiate.
plants.
Yeah, yeah,
And
and they
it-
would get high off it.
And then they would do what?
Go in there and battle.
Fight.
Make entertainment, if
Yeah,
you will, at that
entertain.
time. You know
That
what
was
I'm
an
saying? Just-
entertainment
Yeah,
trip.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you
then,
gotta
like,
make it. Yeah.
There's
How
a
does that like with music? How does it work?
So, for example, let's say Jimi Hendrix or any type of rock star
yeah,
in
yeah.
the 70s or 80s, they are most likely going to do a couple lines of coke before their set. They're going to maybe do some psychedelics, some mushrooms, some acid.
Some of them just get drunk as hell too.
Some
or
people just get drunk. Some people smoke weed. You know, it just depends.
And you're saying this lights a creative fuse in the brain.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes. If I were to take you to almost any studio in Los Angeles, we would walk into their session and they would all be smoking.
Everybody's
you couldn't
faded.
see. You wouldn't be able to see type deal.
But now that's in this genre. In some genres, it's not the case.
Some genres
like
it's
you get
not,
in like
no.
an opera genre, a gospel genre,
Yeah.
even a country music genre. I'm guessing that's not the case.
No,
you're
it-
talking about on the rap, the hip hop side,
Yeah.
maybe the R&B side, maybe the
Even
jazz side.
Jazz. In country, they love to drink. Some of them
so
do
you're
smoke
saying
as
that you go
well.
into a recording studio where there's country music being produced. You're saying a lot of it's going to be drinking.
Most likely
in the
it's
studio.
their choice. Yes. Oh yeah.
It's interesting.
I would just say with like the music aspect of things, like I think it's more or less a point of relativity for real. Like a lot of people in rap music connotate drugs and stuff like that with the culture and stuff because it just is. You know what I'm saying?
So, not to get off track a little bit here, but then you always read the stories about artists that go too far with it, they wind up with addiction, and then they get clean. Like Eminem as an example. I remember studying about him. He almost died from addiction.
Yeah, seriously.
Then he said, screw this, I'm done with this. He got into fitness. He's been like that for at least 10 years now. So he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do drugs.
No,
he
he's
doesn't,
sober.
super sober. But yet, what about his music? It's better than ever. I'm just analyzing.
drugs, in my opinion.
So yeah, I will say like if you look at his
What'd you say?
discography, like
Some of his best music was made on drugs.
Well, that's originally, but I'm talking about currently.
He's sober and it doesn't sound as good, in my opinion.
It doesn't sound as good in your opinion.
My opinion. Well, a lot of people's opinion, but my opinion.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
you actually read articles like this. You hear people talk about it. I thought his music sounds really good now, like really good.
It depends on what you're into.
Well, of course,
personally.
you're pretty critical as a producer.
I am very critical. I am.
By the way, the Beatles song just came out. Have you read about this song that they did with George Harrison? They took an old song and then they added some new, like Ringo Starr and Paul McCartney came in and they redid the song. It's called Now and Then or something like that. They're just all over the internet.
interesting.
Right now.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of like, yeah, it sounds great. I heard a lot of people say, oh, it's terrible. But this is like the last Beatles song.
Right.
And they had to use AI to like make it, or not AI, but they had to use technology
They use AI.
to work it all work.
There's musicians out there. There's a song that was created completely by AI. It was written by a person and then sung.
They say AI is going to take over.
It's not going to.
Okay.
Well,
I'm just talking out loud.
Well, as a
Be the
musician,
devil's advocate here.
As a musician, like it takes all of the humanity out of music.
Okay, fair enough.
Literally.
I agree with you.
Not literally.
But with the new generation coming up, maybe they don't recognize that. I don't know. The next 20 years, kids today that grow up, you think they're going, we don't need that. It's just all AI. That's cool.
But if you think of people like Jimi Hendrix, Eminem, Juice WRLD, Mac Miller, all the greats that have died, passed away just due to drugs, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I know I've preached my other podcast about drug and alcohol, but it's like it's cool when you're young and everything's wonderful, but you get your 30s and 40s and you got this addiction, guess what happens?
Hell catches up with you for real.
This gets terrible. Sorry. Okay, I'll shut up about that.
No, you're right.
So I'm saying when you're young, it's cool, but you know when you get older, it just ain't cool no more. But okay,
it's a very temporary piece.
So how about another song?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Song.
I'm getting too serious here.
No, I ain't nothing too serious.
This next one
is
is
life. It's life.
It is life. It is
exactly, and we want to be transparent.
Hell yeah,
cool.
of course.
Thank you.
This next one is called "Bam Bam" by Kno Mo.
Bam Bam.
I have a lot of fun with this too. Like,
It's like
I just want to touch a little bit on
the
that.
Bam Bam story.
Yeah. About to say, after this one, I kind of just want to touch a little bit more on the drugs, but I'll go ahead and get this one out the way.
We'll talk about it after this. We break up.
You're so unfair. Keep me up for days if you ain't satisfied. What we got is unclear. She get me high, somehow I pay the price. But now I'm going crazy for you, going insane over you. Do anything with you, lose my brain with you. Wasting away every day, testing my patience like how long can I stay? Pop a bean, roll some greens, offer me, please and thank you. Rinse, repeat, endless cycle. On a side note, I don't get too faded to face my rivals. Throwing up west high like a Bible. If I don't got time, move aside. Run it up, no time, do it for the vibe. Never switch on my boss, ain't no bitch in my post. Hit a lick with my bros. Bitch, we get rich like 50 Cent. I don't got time to die, no. Old money, dino. Fucked up my re-up cause I'm coming up. You're so unfair. Keep me up for days if you ain't satisfied. What we got is unclear. She get me high, somehow I pay the price. But now I'm going crazy for you, going insane over you. Do anything with you, lose my brain with you. Wasting away every day, testing my patience like how long can I stay?
Yeah.
Smooth once again.
Thank you.
Super smooth, man. I love it. That's my cup of tea right there.
No, yeah. With this song, it's just especially with like the drugs and everything like that. It just whenever people do take drugs and they feel a certain way, they feel that way off of those drugs and make those songs because there are other people that also feel that way, take those drugs for that reason, and it's just something that kind of like. Even though I'm not next to you, hey, you're not alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, hey, I've been through that too. You know what I'm saying? Just a kind of like he said, the humanity. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like it brings the humanity to it because the AIs music sounds good. It's meant for entertainment. I get that, but like a lot of people are entertained by people's lives, like the Kardashians and everything else that goes into like really looking in to see who a person is. Like you can experience that through music without.
Music is a drug.
Yeah, you can experience that without.
It said that music actually will eliminate people's physical pain, not just emotional, but physical pain. They've done studies on this.
It's the vibrations of the music.
Music's a powerful thing.
The vibrations of the music.
Powerful thing.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's really all I wanted to touch up on because a lot of people feel. Whether it be depression or they're going through a hard time and they just need a little pick me up, you know what I'm saying? It's so relatable.
The problem with drugs and
people,
alcohol is
you know
that if you have the gene, the alcoholic drug addiction gene, and you do a little bit of it, you're hooked and you can never get off. And that's the problem. But there's maybe a certain percentage of people that have that gene, and then the rest of the people can drink and drug, and they don't have the addiction. But the people that do, it just turns out to be a horrible thing. But I'm not going to preach on it. So
no, you're fine.
It's just life.
Yeah,
always going to be challenges in life. We talked about it in our podcast tonight. Dab and I talked about all the different challenges that you got to go through and how you can try to manage them. It's not easy. Life's never going to be easy. I think we're brought up. There should be a class when we're children to teach us not to be naive about getting to be an adult. There should be a class. There should be classes to teach us that we're going to have to deal with a lot of struggle. Because when we grow up, we're like, what happened? I thought everything was going to be wonderful and perfect.
Right.
And it's not like that.
No.
You got to be tough, man. You got to have thick skin to get through life and be successful.
I was just talking to my grandparents the other day. I was like, I remember when I was like 12 years old and I was like, I want to be a grown up. I want to be old. I want to, I want to be an adult. And now it's like, no, I wish I was 12 again.
Yeah, I wish I was 12 again.
I wish I didn't have these stresses of everyday life.
But the more stress you go through and the more you get through it, the stronger you become. You know what? And then you can relate to other people that are coming up the ranks of, hey, I understand what you're going through, but let me give you some advice. Let me encourage you to believe that yada, yada, yada. I'm telling you, man, leadership is really what life's all about. I understand it now. I get it.
I agree with you.
But in the meantime, we got to have fun. We got to be entertained. We got to be motivated, and we have to have good mentorship. And really, music gives us all of that, in my opinion. Music's powerful.
It definitely can, for sure. Yeah.
Our company is a powerful entity, and it's only going to get more and more powerful. And you know what? People can talk about making money all they want, but in the end, really, that's not even important. What's important is that we can touch people's lives in a powerful, successful, motivational way and help people get through that dark time by listening to music, if it wasn't for the music, I don't know if I could have made it. I hear those stories all the time.
And I seriously think it's like you said, not even a money thing. It's like just a network thing. If you can get to know somebody without having to break down their entire life and just be able to sit down and feel together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it sounds very mushy, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
It's cool, though.
A lot of people get out of touch with their feelings and they lash out and they take it out on everybody else around them, and that's not necessarily the best.
Podcast tonight, anger, frustration.
Yeah, and that's not always the best thing to do. I get it. Times are tough. I get it. You're not the only one going through it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta take a step back from how close you are to whatever it is you are. You know what I'm saying? Just realize, you know what I'm saying, you have people around you. You have people around you. It's not just you and the problem. All you gotta do is just reach out. And
good point.
I try to always talk to people, especially the youth in my songs, because like that's the main target area or the target crowd. You know what I'm saying? So if I could teach people to be, or at least try to teach them, you know what I'm saying, to be better, genuine human beings, you know what I'm saying? It would make their lives a lot easier, as I've learned and went through this shit and found out the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So it's more or less like, if I can support you and just you support me in return, we can just keep supporting each other. That's really all I see. Fans are. It's just support. Just help us support.
You're a leader, man.
I try to be. It's the big brother in me, man.
And you're using music as a tool to pass that leadership forward, to make that leadership even more impressive. Davin?
I agree. And I've seen Kno Mo grow as an artist and a person, and he's definitely, we all make big strides, and we all want, the ultimate goal of making it as good as we can for ourselves and each other, and I think Kno Mo is a great example of that.
And Kno Mo's a good guy, man. He's a big part of the company.
I try to be. I go blow a head up too.
Okay.
We got time for one more. We got time for one more
song for Mr. Kno Mo.
This is called Draft Room by Kno Mo.
I'll call you back whenever I got. I sound like Drake.
I know you've been thinking about the time we spending, all the shit we drinking. I know you've been fiending, you need some attention. It ain't no mistaking, I know how you feeling. I need love too, I don't need much from you. The fact of the matter is we both chasing after this, so don't act like I ain't trying, babe. Tired of the screaming and arguing, wonder what it costs for a moment of silence these days. I'm smoking by the elbow, Kush Mint in Bombay, perks make me tune on. I don't want these feelings to fade. Lean make me slow mo, jiggers make me go mo. Learning from my past make me know more. I see you stranded all alone on your phone, looking for entertainment from prior engagements. Over Shawty, you can do you. I seen all the blues clues. I'm not in chasing, no. I won't be a fool too. Felt it in my heart when you knocked me down. 8 balls and 4 kills. Every time I took my shot, I scratched. Who knew? Damn. The truth hurts, learn to grow. Tighten loose screws. The proof in the pudding, sugar. Ain't no woulda, coulda, shoulda. No excuses that can answer for the fight I had to put up. Just to get a little bit of love I settle for, knowing damn well I deserve better. More, matter of fact, get the pack and I hope the door smack you on the way out. You made your way up out this fortress, see your way out. Think about your choices and how they played out.
I ain't gonna lie, I got a little choked up in the middle of that. I ain't gonna lie. It's all very personal stuff, man. Like I said, if I could relate to any real life issues that anybody else can relate to,
Yes, sir.
that's where music hits. You know?
No more. You got it going on, man.
I'm trying.
Congratulations,
I'm
sir.
trying. I just need a little bit of
love
love.
Remember, you can find Kno Mo and any Store High Records artists on the Store High Records playlist on Spotify. We're also on Apple Music, Amazon Music, anywhere that you can find any streaming services, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
We're also on YouTube. We got a SoundCloud coming up. All of the things. I'm easy.
It's all good in the hood, man.
All good in the hood. I love it. I love it. I'm Easy D for Ron Bass. Kno Mo. Kno Mo, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Just remember.
Touch it.
Just remember,
It's all right.
music
You know.
is the medicine. Have a good night.
Much love.